Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a great low-calorie alternative to your regular pasta. This pasta right here can range anywhere between 150 to 200 calories without any of your sauces or toppings. What we're going to cook today is a spaghetti squash. It's so easy to cook. It's only 40 calories per cup. You can put in all the same toppings that you like on pasta, or just simply eat it with like a low-calorie margarine or butter, some salt and pepper, and it's so good. It's also a good source of potassium, calcium, and fiber. So I'm super busy during the week, and I just love how this only takes 5 minutes to prep. The recipe is only going to take salt, pepper, a little bit of olive oil. So let's get started. So the most annoying part of this entire recipe is actually cutting the squash. Once you cut it, it's all downhill from there. If you have a super sharp knife or a husband that's willing to do this for you, you could definitely cut into it right away. I personally am home by myself right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and stab this squash just a couple of times with a fork, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for a total of 4 minutes, rotating it after the first 2, and that's just going to make it just tender enough to allow us to easily cut it without cooking the squash. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and then I'll meet you back when we're ready to cut it open. Okay, so I just took the squash out of the microwave, and I'm just going to cut it in half. That's the only cut you need to make, and as I said, that's the hardest part of this whole thing. I'm probably even going to make this look really hard because my knives are so dull. I have trouble cutting like a tomato. So comment below if you hate cutting up things. I usually have my husband do stuff like this for me. So let's just get through this part, and as I said, it's all downhill from here. Wow, I'm doing a really bad job cutting this, but honestly guys, you cannot mess up this recipe. That's what's so great about it, because it's so easy. You're just gonna put it in the oven once we finish this prep, and it's gonna be all done from there. All right, so these are still super hot, so be careful, but that's what it looks like when they're all cut open. You're just going to want to remove all of the seeds and the stringy things. So don't think you're pulling out the actual spaghetti squash, because like anything that's in this area and showing, that's not what you're going to eat. So you can take out all the seeds, take out all of those strings that you can already kind of see in there. And I'm just going to use a knife and kind of go around to loosen them up and then pull them out. What I really like about the spaghetti squash is there's so much of it. You could make like realistically 2 meals out of one squash, and in total, without any toppings, it's 200 calories for an entire squash. So that's, you know, a really, really low calorie meal. I mean, even if you ate the whole thing with like a light sauce, you'd only be at like 300 or 400 calories. So this is a really good low alternative, especially if you're someone like me. Like, I just want to eat a lot of bites of something, and I just really like snacking, and this does fill you up, and you do get so many bites for the amount of calories. And if you don't get all of the strings out, it's really not the end of the world. It's not gonna mess up the recipe. It's really important to rotate that squash in the microwave so that it doesn't start cooking the inside that you want. The microwave is gonna make it like mushy, and you want the spaghetti squash to be al dente. Like, it shouldn't be mushy. Alright guys, so I have these completely cleaned out, and I'm just going to lay down the parchment paper just because we're going to sprinkle those seasonings. This will be less of a mess. You're going to drizzle olive oil inside of them. And I mean, the amount is really up to you. I usually put some in and then kind of like drizzle it over the top of the other one so it gets all over the place over again. And then I'm gonna just dump out the excess because I don't want so much oil, and I was kind of lazy with how I dribbled it on there. So just trying to coat everything but not just over oil this. And these things are resilient, so you can't do this wrong, trust me. Take a little bit of salt and pepper, however much you desire. And again, I'll put the actual recipe that says the amounts of everything below, but it's so simple, you don't need a recipe. You could watch this video once and know how to do it. Pepper. All right, so that's that. They are ready to go into the oven for about 40 minutes. I'm gonna check on them, and you are gonna wanna put them face down in here. I'm gonna check on them at about 35. It'll really depend on the strength of your oven, but I'm at 400 degrees, and we are gonna put them in for about 40 minutes and check on them at 35. So I'll check back with you when they're all done, show you what the consistency should look like, and then you'll be ready to eat. All right, guys, so my squash was in there for about 35 minutes with the top facing, or the cut side facing down, and I just want to show you what this should look like with a fork. You should let this rest for about 5 minutes before stabbing it, but I just want to show you guys the consistency that you're looking for when you take it out of the oven. So you should have nice strings like so, and depending if you like your pasta or your squash on the more al dente side, you know, more firm, or if you want it softer, that will determine how long you want to keep it in. But when I see these nice strings and they're not mushy and still formed, that's where I like it. So you're just going to go through and you're going to grab from the sides and pull in, and you're essentially going to scrape out all the sauce into the middle, put it into a bowl. You can melt butter on it or use any toppings like your regular pasta sauces, meats, or cheese. I personally put some butter, salt and pepper, and a little bit of Parmesan. As I said, they make great leftovers. What you're looking at right here is 100 calories plus maybe an extra 40 calories for the oil I put on there. So it's a great low calorie meal. If you like this video and want to see more healthy tips and tricks and recipes, definitely subscribe to my channel. I also cover fitness and beauty as well, and we'll see you on the next one.